Hi guys! Today we are going to extend this cute skirt that I just thrifted for €7 including shipping. It's a super comfortable material, but it's just not long enough. It's not bad, but it definitely needs a little bit extra when it comes to the length, and I want to make a few other minor changes. Before we're gonna make any changes, let's have a look at the skirt in detail. So the waistband is made with shirring and there are no elastics in the top section, which creates this ruffle, and it's really cute. I love it. Then between the first and the second section there's a regular seam, fine. The bottom is something I have a little issue with. Normally I love distressed look, but I find that it doesn't really work that well with this fabric. It is cotton fabric that's supposed to look like denim, and it's gorgeous. And if you like this look, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it, but I personally would like this to look a little bit more finished because I find instead of the cool distressed look, it looks just unfinished. I carefully took off the ruffle. The top edge remained gathered, and I went ahead and I have ironed the bottom edge so that it would be nicely flat and easier to work with. Once that was done, I also ironed the bottom edge of the middle section of the skirt. I find that when I iron all edges first before I start making any changes, it's so much easier to work with and the result is always neater and more precise. When I was done with the pressing, I grabbed one of the laces that I bought for this project and I started pinning it to the bottom of the ruffle. When I reached the end, I made sure I considered seam allowance for the lace, put a pin in it, and I have sewn the ends together. And then I pinned also this part of the lace to the bottom of the ruffle. I have sewn the lace to the bottom edge of the ruffle on my serger. I've been using my serger a lot recently. I don't know why I haven't used it more often in the past. It's just such a great machine. But if you just have a household machine, you can sew the lace on either with an overlock stitch or you can sew it on with regular straight stitch, and then you can go over the edge with a little bit denser zigzag to secure the edge and prevent fraying. Here we have the seam. I folded the seam upwards and then I went on and pressed it. Instead of pressing, you could just put pins in it, but I personally find that pressing is always great between steps because the result is then so much neater. As a next step, I grabbed this lace and started pinning it on the line between the top section and the middle section of the skirt because I wanted to embellish that seam. Then I took out my cover lock and I have sewn through the top edge of the lace. There is no particular reason for using cover lock, to be honest. I used it mainly because my regular sewing machine is being serviced. It's not like it's a bad choice, but you don't have to do that, especially if you don't have a cover lock. It doesn't matter. You can simply sew through with 2 rows of straight stitch, or as an alternative, you can use a stretchy zigzag with maximum width to cover as much width of the lace as possible in one step. Since my cover lock was out, I went ahead and I have sewn through the bottom edge on the ruffle that I have pressed before, like I told you. On the cover lock, to be sure that I was sewing in the same distance from the edge, I used one of the holes in the sewing foot and one of the markers in the front to help me to align the sewing foot with the edge of the denim fabric, and that helped me keeping the same distance all the way through. And then it looked like this. I decided to extend the middle section by a little bit, and for that I used a beautiful cream colored vintage lace that I, by the way, bought on Amazon. It's linked in the video description. So what I did was I grabbed a measuring tape and I measured 6 inches from the bottom of the middle section. I made a few marks and then I cut a strip off, and then I took the strip and the middle section and I have sewn between these two parts the vintage lace, and I have also sewn a strip of the vintage lace on the very bottom of the middle section. And then I took this beige vintage lace that I have also used in my tutorial for a denim lace up bodice. If you missed that video, I will link it down below. And I started pinning this lace to the bottom edge of one of the rows of the cream colored lace, because I wanted to give the skirt a little bit more dimension and more different shades and types of lace to make it a little bit more fun and interesting. When I was done pinning, I have sewn the beige lace on my cover lock, and I have also used cover lock on the edge above, which I have folded upwards. Then it was time to pin the ruffle to the bottom edge of the middle section of the skirt. The edge was now the cream colored lace, and I placed between the cream colored lace and the ruffle the thinner light beige lace that I have used on the seam between the top and the middle section, because I wanted to have again an extra effect. For me personally, it's always interesting mixing different shades of cream color and beige, because it makes the project a little bit more unique. It's of course not everybody's taste, but for me it's a lot of fun, so that's why I keep doing that. I have sewn the pieces together on my serger, and then I folded the seam again upwards, and I went through again with my cover lock, and I don't have to show you that at this point anymore. And here we have the finished skirt. I ironed the skirt first before I put it on so that you could see it in its final form. I personally love the different laces and borders because it goes well with this lace up bodice that I already mentioned today. And I put on also a chain belt with charms because I thought that's just perfect for this look. When I started modeling the skirt for you guys, of course, our husky Aegon had to come and join me. He is such a sweetie. He's, by the way, a rescue husky we adopted last February. He's now about 3 years old, and he had a really rough start in life. His owner was really mean to him, and he was not socialized with people. He was not socialized with dogs either, and it took a lot of work to train him, but I would do it all over again because he's such a wonderful, sweet dog. And the fact that he actually joins me now on camera to be with me is amazing. And look at him, like, I think he's doing all right today, right? Alrighty, so that's how I extended my thrifted skirt. I'm super happy with the result. Now it's long enough. I like that it's also embellished because it goes so well with my denim lace-up bodice that I made recently. If you missed the tutorial for my denim lace-up bodice, I will link it down below. And also, if you want to make yourself your own bodice, I have a sewing pattern in my Etsy shop. And that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys very much, and I'll have another sewing tutorial for you soon. Bye!